Tonight, I'm switching something on inside you, something that will never go dark again. Not a spark, a fire. And I'm not speaking in riddles or selling you soft hope wrapped in pretty words. I'm telling you straight, with everything I have, the mind you're carrying right now, in this exact moment, hold a power so vast it can reconstruct your entire life from the ground up. Your current situation is not your sentence. It is not carved in stone. It is soft, shapeable, alive, and it bends completely to the images and beliefs you choose to press into your inner world. Because man is imagination in its purest form, and God lives inside that imagination, and we live inside God, and the two cannot be separated. If you're sitting around waiting for something out there to change before you feel better in here, you've got it completely backwards. Life doesn't flow from the outside in. It flows from the inside out. Consciousness isn't just real. It's the only reality there is. The world doesn't mirror your wishes. It mirrors who you are. And who you are is nothing more, nothing less than the collection of thoughts you keep thinking and the inner states you keep living in. Every transformation ever made started with one thing, a shift in consciousness. And the truth couldn't be simpler. You become exactly what you believe yourself to be. You cannot outgrow your assumptions. Not ever. So let me hand you something right now that will permanently rewire how you see everything. Shut your eyes, in your mind if not your body, and bring to the surface the one thing you want more than anything. A house, wealth, a partner who lights you up, a body full of vitality, a sense of purpose so sharp it cuts through the fog. Whatever it is, don't wish for it. Don't beg the sky to drop in your lap. Claim it. Assume it as something that already belongs to you. That assumption, even when your senses fight it, if you keep it alive long enough, will crystallize into physical reality. And here's the piece most people miss. You can't just visit the end result like a tourist passing through. You have to move in, unpack, rearrange the furniture, feel the walls of your fulfilled desire, breathe in the air of your dream already lived. You must master the art of feeling what has not yet physically appeared, because feeling is the secret. Feeling is the cable that connects the invisible to the visible, and the law never clocks out. It is running constantly, without pause, without preference. The universe isn't listening to the words you speak. It's reading the frequency underneath them. When you tell yourself, I am wealthy, while your gut sinks with lack, the law doesn't respond to the script. It responds to the sensation, which means you must bring the thought and the feeling together. One without the other is an engine with no fuel. You have to feel your way into the state you desire. Think of your imagination as the womb of all that will ever exist in your world. Whatever you conceive inside eventually arrives outside. Don't torture yourself over the mechanics of how it will happen. That's not your job. A seed doesn't stress about the chemistry of soil. It simply knows it will grow. Your only responsibility is to live inside the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. This isn't delusion. This is the same principle spoken directly by Jesus when he said, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have already received it, and it will be yours. Not will be, eventually, when the timing is right, already received. Present tense. That's the key that most people slide right past. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. Your subconscious accepts as real whatever you feel to be real. So every night, before sleep pulls you under, revise your day. Don't drift into unconsciousness, dragging the weight of random thoughts. Use that sacred threshold between waking and sleep to burn a new image into your subconscious. See it, hear it, touch it, until it feels completely normal. Not exciting and foreign. Normal, like it's been true for years. Your mind is always building, whether you direct it or not. Every offhand comment, every complaint muttered under your breath, every anxious spiral replayed before sleep, all of it is being received and executed by the subconscious. You must clean up your inner conversation. Speak to yourself the way someone who already has everything they want speaks, because the world is a mirror with a perfect memory. It reflects every assumption you've been feeding it. Change the assumption, and the reflection has no choice but to change. Now hear this, because most people gloss right over it. Doubt is an assumption, too. Fear is a form of belief. And when you let those inner states take root, You are manifesting from them just as surely as you would from joy or certainty. The law is no moral compass. It does not pick sides. It simply reflects. That is why I'm telling you, do not project fear into tomorrow. Do not preload your future with anxiety. Assume instead that tomorrow is already carrying the evidence of today's inner declaration. Move through life as if failure is not a possibility that applies to you, because a person who assumes success without wavering, the world cannot hold that person back. To truly activate your mind, you must first cut the cord to your past. Your past has no pulse. It lives only in the story you keep retelling. You are not your failures. You are not the pain someone handed you. You are not the box your circumstances try to fit you in. You are awareness. You are the force doing the experiencing. You are what some call the operant power. And when that truth lands in you fully, really lands, you are free in a way that nothing outside you could ever grant. Once you can feel completion of your desire, once you feel that quiet thrill of a dream already done, you set something into motion in the unseen world that is mechanical in its obedience. It must produce. This is not motivational talk. This is law. This is what Scripture actually means when it speaks of faith. Not religious performance, but psychological certainty. A loyalty so deep to an invisible reality that the visible world cannot shake it. Walking by faith, not by sight, means your inner vision is more real to you than the evidence your eyes keep presenting. Let people call you crazy. It doesn't cost you a thing. The world always mocks the one who sees something no one else can see until they can see it too. Then they call that person a genius. When your imagination is fully activated, you merge with the creative power that runs through everything. There is no power that exists outside of consciousness. Your outer world is simply the overflow of your inner conversations and the moods you've been sustaining. Shift the conversation, and the world reshapes. So speak to yourself boldly, with love, with the kind of authority that doesn't ask permission. Tell yourself, I am chosen. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am free. And don't whisper it like a wish. Say like a fact the universe is already arranging itself around. Because it is. Every time you hold to a desire-aligned assumption and reject what contradicts it, you are operating from your highest self. And when reality pushes back, when the evidence looks wrong and logic lines up against you, you persist. This is the great secret that changes everything. Persistence inside the state of the wish fulfilled is the bridge between desire and delivery. Don't lose heart when time stretches between the planting and the harvest. The seed already knows what it's becoming. You must know the same thing about your assumption. Your mind, once genuinely awake, is a tool of infinite capacity. It can construct empires. It can open doors that have no business opening. It can mend what medicine doubts. But only when you believe without splitting the difference. Half belief produces half results, which look like no results at all. You have to go all in. Release the grip on appearances. Stop requiring the how. The trust that surrenders the how is exactly the trust that produces what people call miracles. The mind ignites through conviction, and conviction grows through repetition of the desired state until it settles in as familiar. Tonight, fall asleep inside the feeling that your dream is already real. Wake up tomorrow wearing that same certainty. Don't look around and decide how to feel based on what you see. Choose the feeling first, and let the outer world catch up. The law cannot argue with you. It cannot override you. It can only reflect you. You are not here to chase things. You are here to call them in. Through the felt reality of your vision, through the steady power of assumption, you summon into your life everything you desire. And here is something that should stop you completely. What you desire is already yours. It is waiting only for you to claim it. There is no delay except the one you agree to. There is no wall except the one you believe is real. The prison door is wide open, but you have to be the one to walk out. No one can do it for you. No law, no teacher, no external force. The switch is yours. When you activate your mind, you wake up the God that has been sleeping inside you. And that God is not small. That God speaks, and it is done. You are that God, wrapped in a human experience, dreaming a dream called life. And the moment you grip your imagination with real intention and point it somewhere deliberately, The whole universe swings in behind you to build what you assumed, not because it owes you, because that's the law. So right now, not when conditions improve, not after more preparation. Right now, assume the highest version of yourself into reality. Walk in it. Talk from it. Feel the joy of it, the peace of it, the deep satisfied gratitude of someone who already arrived. Hold that without wobbling. The world may look unchanged for a while. That's fine. It must yield. It always yields to the inner state that refuses to move. You were never here to beg for what belongs to you. You were here to create it. You were never built for the kind of struggle that wears you down. You were built for the kind of assumption that builds you up. You are the artist, the architect, the author of every chapter of your life. Write it with conviction that doesn't apologize. Speak it with authority that doesn't wait for a sign. Imagine it until it has weight and texture and smell, and feel it with the kind of joy that only comes from knowing, really knowing it is already done. Do this, and I promise you, the invisible becomes visible. The distant thing draws close, and what was once a dream becomes the only reality you know. Now let's go even deeper, because the act of creation is not a moment you visit. It's a state you inhabit, an identity you carry. You are not someone who occasionally practices imagination. You are imagination walking around in a body. You are not someone who manifests sometimes. You are manifestation itself. Thinking, breathing, moving through time. The more clearly you understand this, the more precisely and rapidly your world reorganizes itself around you. Once you genuinely grasp that your mind is a projector and the world is simply the screen, you stop arguing with what's on the wall. You walk straight to the film reel, your assumptions, your inner speech, your sustained emotional state, and you change it there. Change the reel, and the scene has no choice but to change. It cannot stay the same. That is a divine mechanic underneath it all. The world is yourself, projected outward. Every single person you encounter, every circumstance that shows up, every coincidence that seems too perfect, all of it arises from the patterns of thought you've been feeding and sustaining. So if you want different relationships, different money, different opportunities, you must build a different interior first. See yourself differently. Speak from a different inner position. Respond to life as a version of you who is already living the life in question. And one more thing you need to hear. You cannot activate your mind through gritted teeth and white-knuckle effort. This is not a battle. It is a surrender. Surrender to your highest assumption. With a calm so deep that resistance dissolves around you, you move lightly through the world because you already know the work is done in the unseen. You don't fight the evidence. You don't wrestle with circumstances. You return again and again to the vision you're building inside, and you live there. You make it your permanent address. Train yourself to feel the joy before the event shows up, to feel the satisfaction before the physical result lands, to feel the abundance before the money appears in your account. This is a line between the sleeping person and the awakened one. The sleeping person reacts to life. The awakened one creates it. The awakened one chooses thoughts deliberately, selects emotional states on purpose, accepts nothing that contradicts the inner vision, and don't underestimate repetition. The subconscious doesn't respond to logic or argument. It responds to feeling repeated consistently. If you say, "I am wealthy," while feeling hollow, keep saying it, but not desperately. Say it with the quiet certainty of someone stating the obvious. Let it become rhythm. Let it become reflex. And when you least expect it, a phone call comes, a meeting happens, an idea drops in, pathways open that you never could have mapped on a whiteboard. Your imagination sent a new signal, and the universe rearranged itself in response. You are broadcasting constantly. You never stop. The only question is what frequency you're running on. Every emotion-charged thought is a decree. Every fear you entertain is a prayer the universe answers literally. So reverse it. Choose deliberately. Choose joyfully. Expect favor instead of problems. Anticipate fast movement instead of waiting. Rehearse what you want until everything else feels like the wrong script. The moment you assume a state and really feel it real, the law starts immediately. You may not see it that day. You might not see it the next. But the seed is planted and growing in ways you cannot track. Do not dig it up with doubt. Do not water it with contradiction. Stay faithful to the vision. The longer you hold a state, the more familiar it becomes. And once it becomes familiar, it becomes the only possible outcome. This power is not reserved for the spiritually gifted or the naturally lucky. It is your birthright. It is written into your design. And the moment you stop looking out there for confirmation and turn completely inward, you'll feel it. A steady, quiet flame in your chest. A knowing. A certainty that requires no proof because it is the proof. That feeling, that unshakable inner conviction, is worth more than every strategy and tactic in existence. Because once you feel it true, the outer must conform. When doubt surfaces, don't fight it. Don't argue. Transcend it. How? By stepping back into the feeling of the answered prayer. Feel now what it would feel like if your desire were already sitting in your hands. Not a thought exercise, an actual feeling. This is your built-in divine technology. This is how the mind gets activated. Not through anxiety, not through hustle, not through desperate repetition, but through bold, settled inner acceptance. You are not here to live at the mercy of circumstances. You are here to issue direction to circumstances through the power of feeling, through the clarity of vision, through the unwavering authority of assumption. And the more you practice this, the more native it becomes. What once felt like fantasy becomes ordinary. What once seemed distant becomes your everyday reality. You stop hoping. You know. You stop waiting. You inhabit. And from that place of deep inhabitation, everything is drawn to you, not because you forced it, but because you claimed it and the law had no argument. Do not mistake quiet for absence. The moment your inner state shifts, the outer world begins rearranging itself. Silently, efficiently, sometimes through paths you'd never predict. Trust the law. Return to the end. The desire already fulfilled. Your power lies at the end. Your creation begins at the end. Thinking from the end, not about the end, is what separates the wishful thinker from the deliberate creator. The feeling you sustain is the magnet. Everything you want is already being pulled toward you the second you match its frequency. But you must hold that frequency, not once in a meditation session, not occasionally when you feel inspired. Consistently, faithfully, joyfully, the way you'd hold a melody you love. That's how the subconscious accepts a new reality. That's how manifestation becomes your daily rhythm. You speak it, you feel it, you live it, and the world, with no other option, reflects it back. When the old self shows up again, when fear knocks, when logic explains why this can't possibly work, you don't resist. You don't collapse into debate. You return. You remind yourself what's actually true about you. You say, quietly and without drama, that's no longer my truth. And you step back into the state you chose. That is walking by faith. That is how you hold a state when every outer signal screams the opposite. And as you hold it, the world shifts, not slowly, not incrementally, but completely, sometimes in a single moment. People will come back into your life, treating you differently. Money will arrive through angles you didn't plan for. Opportunities will land that are too perfectly timed to be called coincidence. And you won't be stunned by any of it, because you knew. You knew from the moment you decided to activate your mind. You knew the instant you chose the new state that the old reality had already lost its grip. In this knowing, you rest not in passivity, but in power. You take action, yes, but from a place of fullness, not desperation. Your words carry a different energy. Calm, clear, confirmed, not seeking, confirming. Your steps are intentional, not frantic. Regal, not rushed. You don't chase, you magnetize. You don't hustle from lack. You attract from wholeness. You don't beg, you bless. This is the life of the operant power, the life of the awakened mind. And it is available to you right now. Not after you read 10 more books. Not after you get more evidence. Not after you feel more ready. Now, in the stillness of this moment, the switch is inside you. The choice is entirely internal. And the result is not hope, it's inevitable. You are no longer a reaction to life. You are life's director. And life obeys because it must, because it is designed to serve your dominant inner state, not the other way around. Keep imagining. Keep returning to the state of the wish fulfilled. The more you come back to it, the more natural it becomes, until one day it stops feeling like practice. It simply is. The state becomes your home. And from that home, everything flows effortlessly, not because of anything you did, but because of who you became. So here's what I leave you with. You don't need to become anything. You only need to remember who you already are, the operant power, the imaginer, the creator living inside a human experience. The world is not happening to you. It is happening through you. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption is a seed. And now that your mind is activated, you plant only what you intend to harvest. You will not beg for miracles. You will become them. You will not hope for change. You will assume the change, and the world will bow in quiet obedience to your inner command. Dare to believe in the thing you cannot yet see. Dare to feel it real. Dare to walk through your day as if every desire is already in your possession. Because it is. Let the old reality fall apart. Let the doubts exhaust themselves and die. Let the fear burn off like morning fog. You have crossed into a new state of being, a new identity, a new world. And from this moment forward, everything must rearrange to match the self you have chosen to be. It is done. Walk in it, live in it, breathe in it, and watch the impossible bow to the one truth that finally sets you free.